What's up, guys? As we know, alcohol is sold all over America these days. However, it didn't always used to be this way. Back in the late 1910s, before the internet was a thing, people would seek entertainment by going to bars and drinking all sorts of alcohol. This might have been fine if it was done in moderation, but yeah, a lot of people didn't do that. This became such a problem that people decided to take action to limit alcohol consumption. People who believed alcohol caused crime and violence formed the Dry Party. Their goal was to create a better society with little to no alcohol. As you could imagine, many others did not agree with this, so they formed their own group called the Wet Party. This group had the goal of keeping alcohol legal. This altercation got the attention of Congress, and they decided a legal action should be made. After reviews, Congress decided to favor the Dry Party. This led to them creating the 18th Amendment, which banned all manufacture, sale, and transportation of alcoholic beverages. This act was called Prohibition. So Congress delivered the amendment to President Woodrow Wilson, awaiting for him to sign it and make it official. So the president reads it over, but then he vetoes the bill, canceling it entirely. So Congress gets their bill back, but instead of refining it or changing anything, they create the Volstead Act to provide enforcement to their amendment. With this act, they were able to pass the 18th Amendment on January 16, 1919. So despite the president's attempts to stop it, the 18th Amendment was now officially passed. Say goodbye to your alcohol, everyone. Now, alcohol is a pretty addictive substance. There is a decent amount of people who grew dependencies on alcohol, and now that there is no way to get it, some started to get withdrawal symptoms. They consumed so much alcohol before Prohibition that they needed to find ways to satisfy their addiction. People noticed this, and realizing a profit could be made, they began brewing their own alcohol. They would sell their alcohol illegally afterward, which made them a lot of money. A bit of economics here. There is a very low supply of alcohol and a very high demand. This allowed the criminals selling the alcohol to raise their prices for essentially as big as they wanted it to be. So these small amounts of criminals began making a lot of money. Others see this and decide to follow in their footsteps. Driven by a hunger for money and a willingness to sell alcohol, large numbers of criminals and gangsters began to rise. Some people expanded on this idea even further, creating undercover bars called speakeasies. On the outside, these buildings were disguised to look as ordinary venues, but on the interior they were decked out bars filled with alcohol. These places took precautions to ensure security. Many people were required to have a secret code or handshake to get in, and once the customers were inside, they were strongly encouraged to talk quietly amongst themselves, hence the name Speakeasy. Alright, nice, so there's all these guys now, and with the rise of criminals comes a rise of not good things. Gangs started to form and violence rates went up, causing lots of havoc around America. One of the biggest cities impacted by gangsters was Chicago, where it essentially became corrupt because of the large amounts of criminals roaming the city. So finally, after the 18th Amendment horribly backfired, Congress decided that they should fix this problem. Their solution to this problem was to write up the 21st Amendment, which entirely revoked the 18th Amendment. So alcohol is legal again. As alcohol began to be sold again, people no longer had to buy it illegally from criminals. Demand and supply for alcohol began to balance out, which made a lot of illegal sellers close down their businesses. As criminal and gangster rates decreased, the alcohol market began to balance, proving the 21st Amendment was successful. And yeah, that's the story of the wild events that happened during Prohibition. Thank you so much for 100 subscribers, I appreciate it a lot, and I'll catch you later. See ya!